Hey everyone, this is Andy with the TOTL Podcast. I'm here with the Troy Baker.
Ah, shucks.
Thank you so much for making some time for us.
Man.
I know you've had a real busy day.
It's been fun. It's been real fun.
Good. How are you enjoying Long Beach?
You know what's funny is that, okay, so as I'm driving over here, I ended up driving over the bridge, and my immediate thought was, I know exactly where I'm at in GTA right now. I was like, if I just keep going up, I'm going to go around the east side of the island. But no, it's great. This is my first time actually to Long Beach Comic Con. We had a great conversation with people today talking about performance matters and how we build characters, because I think that games are getting to the point to where the stories are so good, the experiences are so good, and the characters are really, really good. So I love talking to my fellow nerds about great games.
Oh, that's fantastic. And we couldn't agree more. I mean, we talked a little bit before how some of these games are just setting these new standards.
Yeah, absolutely.
Character-wise, I mean, in 1 year, you were in BioShock, a pretty established franchise that had a lot of backing on it.
Yeah.
And then The Last of Us, which was a standalone game.
Yeah.
How did you go into that?
Well, nobody knew those games were going to come out at the same time either. So, but it does kind of force you. Hopefully, if you're an actor and you get a gig, that's a win. And you're in an industry where 90% of the workforce is unemployed. So you're the rarity. But with anything, whether you're working 5 jobs or this is the only job you're working, you have to make sure that you're grounded in some way, so that however much time you take away from it, or if you're doing things back to back, you can still just drop in. And so for me, it was just finding that ground underneath my feet. And that's when you really rely on a really good team. Like, you've got amazing people like Neil Druckmann and Bruce Straley. You're working opposite of someone incredible like Ashley Johnson. So it really becomes, and this is where games have gone now, where it's this really in-depth, immersive experience of making the games as much as it is playing the games. There's a lot of time that goes into making sure that the disc that you have in your hand when it comes off the shelf is something that everybody is not only proud to make, but it's something that they want to play as well.
I did that. That makes so much sense.
Sweet.
I read a review of Tilu saying how it's more like reading a novel because it stays with you for such a long time.
I would agree.
It's not like a movie. Do you know if there's a movement to see if there are any novelists out there that are established to try to get them to write for the medium?
You know what? I think that would be really interesting. I mean, Neil has written 3 comic books, graphic novels. One before he was ever with Naughty Dog, and obviously he did the graphic novel, American Dreams, for The Last of Us. And then I'm pretty sure that he wrote the one for Uncharted. I'm not sure if that's out yet or not. It may be part of the collector's edition. But, him as a writer is so, in part of his DNA. And it's a great way to express this story. Sometimes you want to see, especially in graphic novel form, I'm such a graphic novel nerd. But that's a really interesting question. If we could see people that are writing for games as an emerging medium and then actually translate that to books, it would be like the reverse. Instead of adapting, something for the screen, we're actually adapting it for the page. It'd be incredible. There was a few, there was the Assassin's Creed book that came out. That was.
Yeah.
There's a great BioShock book. I can't remember the name of it, but it's incredible. It's BioShock in a novel. It is incredible. So there's a few of those that have popped up, but that would be interesting to see more of a trend like that.
Oh, fantastic! Now,
cool.
For I know a lot of talented people, and usually they're not talented in just one way.
All right.
What other ways do you get? I mean, you got.
What are the creative outlets you have?
Oh man, I need a lot, because if I don't have my outlets, I'll go crazy. I started off as a musician, and I still play music. So that's one of the things that I'll always do if I ever need to get centered again, is just sit down at a piano, pick up a guitar, or just make music. So, but I think that's a friend of mine a long time ago told me that your life is a 3-legged stool. You've got your personal life, your professional life, and your spiritual life. And if one of those 3 are out of balance, you don't sit right. And so I think it's really important to find that balance in your life, which is just have a relationship with your friends, but also make sure you're taking care of your business.
Yeah.
And then making sure that you're centered, that you know who you are, the inside, the true self of you. So that's what I try to work.
Fantastic. So,
cool.
Is there anything you're working on that you can tell us about?
Yeah, absolutely. Uncharted 4, we finally announced the date, March 18th.
Cannot wait.
Thank God.
I'm just happy
That game
Naughty
is
Dog's
coming
getting
out.
something on the shelf again.
I know, it's been a while. Holy crap. So I'm really excited about that, not only as an actor, but as a fan of the franchise, as a fan of everybody that's made Uncharted what it is, which really was just a benchmark. You're talking about benchmarks and standards being set in games. Uncharted changed everything for us.
Yeah, it did.
So the fact that I get to finally, all I wanted to do was be a red shirt that died in Uncharted, and the fact that I get to play Nate Drake's brother is just, it's incredible. And I'm having a blast. I mean, Nolan and I are just thick as thieves. No
See
pun
what you did
intended.
there.
So there's that. We've got episode 5, the last episode of Tales from the Borderlands. It's coming out very, very, very soon. And some other stuff that's coming on the horizon. We'll talk about it.
Fantastic. Well, it's been a long day.
Thank you.
I'm sure you're tired and hungry. We got something for you.
What you got? Hey, look at that, chips!
Chips.
Looking out for you.
And these are my favorites, actually.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go and devour these like an animal that's no longer a human.
The beer line, it was too long for this line, so we wanted
I'm
to
just
make it-
impressed that there's a beer line.
Oh, yeah.
You said a beer line. There was one convention I went to one time where Jose Cuervo had set up a booth on the show floor.
Really?
Worst idea ever. It was at
Nerds and booze, man.
Anime Expo.
Oh, yeah.
Nerds and booze.
Terrible. Yeah, nerds
Crazy
and
company.
booze going.
a
I can
crazy
talk to
company.
that girl now. Watch this shit. Amazing.
No,
Well, thank you
Harley
guys.
Quinn's totally into me.
Thank you.
Oh,
My
thank you so
pleasure,
much
guys.
for your time.
Thank you.
Can't wait to see the work you got coming out.
Ronald.